Guys, welcome to Bachelor. My name is Joker with a face for radio and a voice for print. Today, I got an interesting story. I'm going to do two videos today, The Tale of Two Men. So whether you're watching the Tom Brady one first and then you watch the one I'm going to do on Leonardo DiCaprio, or vice versa. If you're watching the Leo one, then come back and watch the Tom one, although that doesn't matter me saying that in this video because this wouldn't be the one you're watching. Anyway, Tom Brady. Basically, he's a model. He might even be classified as supermodel, but he's male. So I don't know if that counts or not. Supermodel, 6'4", worth, I don't know, millions and hundreds of millions of dollars. Father, devoted family man, superstar athlete, six-pack, everything that women say that they want today. And I did a quick review of this article that just came out on him, and turns out Gisele Buendchen is leaving him. Shocking. Who could have seen this happening? I'll jump right to the article here. Actually, before I jump into the article, who could have called this? Like, who could have seen this coming, that even if you're the perfect man, you got to change and you're not good enough? Let's see. Who could it be? She wasn't satisfied with our marriage, so I needed to make a change in that. Again, so, even if you're that 6-foot-tall athletic model that's a millionaire, you still have to change. You're still going to be put on the hook, and if things aren't right around the household, it's on you. But if you said, I just wish I was 6 foot tall and a model and millionaire, and I had all these things going for me, then my life would be easy. It'd be easy street, and I could have, nope. You still get married, you're still going to have problems no matter what you wish for. It just never goes smoothly. And this is one of the reasons why I say keep things short and simple. It was from me from April of 2020. So 2 and almost a half years ago, I did the story on how she wasn't happy because he wanted to keep staying in the NFL. He wasn't around to take care of the kids. But here's the thing. If he quit his NFL career, he's only got a year or two left at most. I think he's 45 now. Here's a guy that's probably the greatest of all time, like literally the best NFL quarterback that's ever been. And as I said in the other video, I'll say it again, I love to hate and hate to love Tom Brady because I'm a Buffalo Bills fan. And, the Bills have not even shown up to a playoff game in 18 years. They're finally doing a little better. But Tom Brady, man, he took us out constantly. He's just one of the best. And so here you've got a guy that's coming up on the very end of his career. After this, he's done. Maybe he can get into broadcasting, but his time on the field is done. And so he knows, hey, I was going to retire, but let me give this another shot. I still feel like I'm pretty good. And she's resentful of him because he's not the stay-at-home dad. But if he was the stay-at-home dad, she still wouldn't be happy. We know this because then she'd say, hey, you know what? We're not going on all our Ibiza vacations and everything else. And they're just never happy, even with a supermodel superstar. Resentful Gisele Buendchen walks out on Tom Brady. The reason why also, and I'll read the story here. I'll jump into it here. I don't want to keep going on and on and on, but the reason why I find this also important is, remember, women are always saying, oh, guys are players. They hit it and quit it. They're not family men. They're not dedicated. They're not around. You notice, just like Dr. Dre and just like Kim Kardashian leaving Kanye, it's the women that walk out. It's the women that tap out first. And I'm not saying the guys aren't, making mistakes or doing things wrong. But then you look at someone like Jada Pinkett Smith, that I'm going to talk about in my other video today, and Will Smith, and like Will's been treated horribly and he's the one that's hanging around. It's not, this theme of men are pigs, and no, if you find the right guy, even when things are going really bad, they'll hang in there with you. Resentful Gisele Buendchen walks out on Tom Brady amid trouble in marriage. Tom Brady and Gisele Buendchen have reportedly had a heated argument amid rumors she's unhappy he's still playing in the NFL. I'll read more, and then I got more to say on this. There's reportedly trouble. Page 6 reports the model has left their family compound in Tampa, Florida, for Costa Rica, following a series of heated arguments over Brady's shock decision to unretire from the NFL, while he has remained behind for team training. Tom and Gisele are in a fight right now, a source said page 6, adding that, let me pull that zoom in so I can read all the letters there. This has happened before with a couple, but they always reunited in the past. The news comes after Buccaneers quarterback 45 missed 11 days of training in August. When quizzed about the disappearance, Brady said it's all personal. Everyone's got different situations they're dealing with. We all have really unique challenges to our life. I'm 45 years old, man. There's a lot of shit going on. Reps for both Brady and Buendchen, 42, who share children Benjamin, 14, and Vivian, 9, plus Jack, the athlete's 15-year-old son with ex-Bridget Moynihan, declined to comment. A second source said there's been trouble in the marriage over his decision to unretire. Gisele has always been the one with the kids. And I said this in my other video, and I'll reiterate it again. Look, yes, Tom has to go to practice, and he practiced, and he plays, and yes, sometimes, once every other week he may go on the road to play a game. But you're going to tell me he's not around all the time for the kids when he's not at practice to be the greatest freaking sports hero football player of all time? That's not good enough? And don't tell me, oh, it's so much work for her. It's so hard for her being a single mom. I mean, what with being combined worth $500 million? I mean, how would she ever be able to struggle through with only 4 maids and 2 nannies and 7 servants and 4 drivers and 3 cooks and 1 helicopter pilot and 15 chauffeurs? Like, come on. You're going to tell me that he's not enough of a father? And if this were reversed, if she wanted to chase her dreams of her company, which they do talk about here in a minute, I'll read. If she wants to chase her dreams and Tom was like, I'm walking out on the family because she's not home enough, she's chasing her career too much, the narrative would be, oh, he just wants her pregnant, barefoot at home in the kitchen, instead of letting a strong, independent woman chase her dreams. That would be the narrative. They had agreed he would retire to focus on the family. Then he changed his mind. He's got maybe a year or 2 left. And I think people that maybe women don't understand something about men. When you are, and yes, this does go to ego and narcissism, but it also goes to a love of the game and the camaraderie in the locker room and being with the, quote, guys, is that he knows the sand's almost out of the hourglass. He's got maybe this year, maybe another year, depending on how he feels. This isn't walking away from the family. What this is he does like the limelight. He likes the competition. He wants to be remembered as the greatest of all time. And yeah, there's probably some ego and narcissism in it. But the point that I don't think a lot of people really realize is that when he shows up to practice and when he shows up to game day, he's looked up to, he's respected. He's got an entire team, a group of guys that he played with both for the Patriots and now with Tampa Bay that are his friends. He hangs out and jokes and laughs and has a good time in the locker room. I think he's afraid of missing that just as much. And as a guy that, was in military and had military friends and when we were in a squadron in the Air Force, those guys become kind of your second family. And when you're going to walk away from that, and then all it is wake up and, the kids go off to school all day long. And she's got her own thing going on. So I think he's afraid of just sitting around the house feeling worthless and losing that drive, that vivre, joie de vivre, the joy of life, losing that. I think that's a big part of it. An insider said they have a very fiery relationship. Gisele is a bit hot-headed. She has that Brazilian heat. That's a very nice way of saying she's probably a bitch and controlling and manipulative. I mean, okay, so can he say, oh, he's got that white boy New Englander heat? No. Again, one-sided. She could be hot-headed. It's cute because she's a Brazilian. But if a man's hot-headed, that's we got problems here. In May, Buendchen told British Vogue, I don't think relationships just happen. It's never the fairy tale people want to believe it is. It takes work to be really in sync with somebody, especially after you have kids. His focus is on career. Mine is mostly on the kids. So what's wrong with that? His career's almost over. And again, the way she talks, she makes it sound like he doesn't care for the kids. I'd be really interested to see what the family dynamic is, because you guys know how this is. If outsiders know that she's hot-headed, imagine what she's like behind closed doors when she's angry. If people that are not in the immediate family know she's hot-headed, because that's it from just an insider. Brady is said to be caring for the kids while Buendchen is away. Okay. On his Instagram account this week, he posted video of himself taking Benjamin and Vivian to their first day of school. He's such a doting dad and very much a family man, said the source. So we've got outside sources saying, yeah, she's kind of a hot-headed witch. And other people that are outside sources saying, oh, he's such a family man. He's such a doting dad. But then she says that he's not there for the kids. Someone's lying. Gee, I wonder who it is. As Brady did a quick about face on his retirement, Buendchen has also been working again, is currently starring in a new Burberry campaign. It's almost like Gisele was like, well, if you're going to keep playing, so will I, said the second source. She's resentful that Tom is still the football superstar. That's interesting. Now, again, she's a supermodel. She, I think, is net value worth more than him. But you know who's, at least for half to 3/4 of the season or 3/4 of the year, in the newspapers all the time? Tom Brady, Tom Brady, Tom Brady. Interviewed a lot? Tom Brady. Popular? Tom Brady. Could there be something here where she says, hey, I'm the supermodel, pay attention to me. I'm still relevant, says the 40, I don't know how old she is, 40-something-year-old woman who's going past her prime? Maybe she's feeling that wall a little bit, and she still sees him being desired by other women, being a superstar, because they say here, she's resentful that Tom's still a football superstar. That's not from her, that's from other people. So it must be enough that she's talking to people or they can tell. Brady's been looking downcast at training camp, according to the sources. 2020, during an appearance on Howard Stern's Sirius XM show, Brady admitted a couple years ago, Buendchen didn't feel like I was doing my part for the family. She felt like I would play football all season and she would take care of the house. She wasn't satisfied with our marriage, so I needed to make a change in that. Her point was, well, yeah, of course this works for you. It all works for you, but it doesn't work for me. So what's he supposed to do? Honest question. What's he supposed to do? Just quit his passion and sit around the house? And more recently, Brady had admitted he needs to be better about balancing his NFL career and spending time with his family. During the offseason, my family's got a lot of time. I've enjoyed that. I can still do a better job of that. It's just constantly trying to be a little bit better each day. So he's not saying like, shut up, bitch. He's trying, but it's not enough. She's leaving him anyway. According to his 6-week retirement, addressing his 6-week retirement earlier this year, he added that every decision comes at a cost. This is a man who knows his value is going to fall off, that his time as a superstar, the camaraderie with the guys and everything else is going to go. And I think he's afraid of that. You know, every man fears the day when he's not wanted anymore, or he's not looked up to, or he's not respected, or he's not important, or he's not doing something that's his passion. And in this case, you know, when you're an older sports player, the passion is taken away from you. You don't decide to leave the sport decides to leave you because your body just can't keep up. And maybe I'm not trying to portray him as the perfect dad, but when others are saying, hey, you know, here he is dropping his kids off and he spends the off season with his kids, which is a lot of time. He skips out on some practices even because he's so damn good to spend time with the family. And it's still not good enough for her. Once again, woman walks away. 60, 70, 80% of the divorces, depending on where you live and what statistics you look at, Up to 80% of the divorces are filed by women leaving. And here you've got, again, 6'4" model, superstar athlete, rich, desired by women, looked up to by men, respected, the head of his team, a superstar. This is literally the perfect man that every woman says she wants. And they're still going to find something that's not good enough that makes them feel like, I'm okay in leaving this. And how do you go up from here, Gisele? I don't know. Let me see how old she is. Because she is a supermodel. She's 42 years old. Where do you go from here? Where do you go from here? And he's, I think, 45, 46, something like that. Sorry, I don't have this pulled up, but I want to say he's 45. Yeah, he's 45 years old. Like the sand's almost out of the hourglass for his sports. Now, here's the good thing. She can leave him, and he'll be like, and he'll have a line of thirsty women for him. And they're going to be good women, tasty women. Just ask Leonardo DiCaprio. I'll be doing that story next. So, guys, again, if you're not that tall guy or the rich guy or the handsome guy or the popular guy or the superstar or everything else, it doesn't matter. The odds of you staying married happily ever after, retiring together, having the perfect family is slim, because you're seeing these guys that supposedly have it all get left all the time. And rarely, at least in many of the stories that we see online, rarely is it their fault where he's like, I don't give a shit. No, he's trying. She just happened out even at the age of 42. There is no forever after. I mean, there is. I'm not trying to say that, but the odds are so small now that you're looking at microfractions. And what are the odds that she decides to move to wherever and decide to try to take the kids with her? And then all of a sudden, now he may not be on the hook for child support and all this money because I think she's worth more than he is. But what are the odds that he loses his kids when they're in their teens and everything else? And he doesn't get to be that father he wants to be. It just, what a mess. What a mess. But I don't know. Maybe people like Leonardo DiCaprio have it right, because he's going to be my next story I'm going to do right after this. We'll see, because maybe he's happier doing it that way. I don't know. It'll be interesting to hear what you guys think.